rehabilitation? One night? Doesn't sound so bad.
Not so bad, huh? Here's some highlights from last week's rehabilitation. And who could forget that wonderful finish by Rehab Officer Tylenol Jones? And tomorrow night looks even more better. Word is that Beef Supreme himself might come out of retirement.
Beef Supreme.
Okay, let's meet our rehabilitation officers for tonight. With a combined record of 62 kills. Please welcome Billy Wawamba and the Dozer.
What's up, everybody? You might be wondering why I started our show tonight with a clip from the movie Idiocracy. Well, it's because I feel like we are living in the damn prequel to the movie. I mean, the first indication should have been when everybody started wearing Crocs, right? We should have been like, maybe we should not, like, you know, go that route. But the reason I'm posting this is because, of course, Donald Trump posted this today on the White House's official Facebook page. Tell me that does not remind you of the goddamn rehabilitation scene from the movie Idiocracy. Tell me that the freaking Republican National Convention did not look like... Yeah, we are living in the dumbest of times, everybody. We are living in the dumbest of times. Idiocracy is real. And the leader, we have a President Camacho in the White House. Yes. It's truly unbelievable. We got a lot to talk about tonight, not just the stupidity coming out of the White House, but we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk some more, of course. We are going to talk about J.D. Vance and how the Republican Party, the only people that are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death is the GOP. The GOP has made so much money off of Charlie Kirk's death. They are quite literally the only ones benefiting from the murder of Charlie Kirk, which, again, I told you guys yesterday how I felt about the entire situation, and I'm going to stand on business. I am not going to sit here and not believe my own eyes. Okay, I actually have some better footage. Some I shared with you yesterday off of my social media, but I managed to dig up some actual decent clips of what's happening that I feel we should be concerned about. I feel we should be very, very concerned about. So let's start with, let me see, where do I want to start? Since we're going to be talking about Charlie Kirk, why don't we talk about some of the things that Charlie Kirk has said over the years. I have some actual Charlie Kirk quotes. So let's see what kind of human being that MAGA is elevating to godlike status. Here's a good one. 0 people from Gaza should be allowed to come to America. Classic, right? Then we have, if this is his position on black women in positions of power. His quote is, "You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to be taken somewhat seriously." That was said on the Charlie Kirk show in July of 2023. Let's see what else. Some bangers. "The single woman issue is one of biggest issues facing a civilization." Yes, women who don't want to date incel losers who see them as property. Yeah, of course. Yeah, single women don't like you. I don't understand how you've not figured that out yet. Y'all just are like, women love me, just blah, penis, blah, blah, blah. Like, you guys literally think showing a woman a dick pic is going to win her over, and you've forgotten to develop an actual fucking personality. And no, attacking trans people, Latino people, gay people, drag queens, and everybody in between is not a personality. You're a Fox News fucking parrot. Squawk! Trans people are evil. Squawk! That's you. That's you. Every fucking comment in my feed on Facebook is quite literally a regurgitation of an insult I've already heard. You have no original thoughts in that small-ass MAGA inbred brain ears, do you? You cannot think for yourself. Well, anyway, let's continue to look at some of the things that Charlie Kirk has said, the guys that you are idolizing and worshiping. If you actually watch his trial, it's obvious that Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. Yeah, he said that too. Fuck Charlie Kirk and fuck you for supporting him. And of course, for those of you who don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse took an illegal weapon to another state and murdered people, black people, just because. That's why he went there. Abortion is not health care. Okay, great. Great. So when his wife, well, she's not going to get pregnant anymore. Sorry. If she gets pregnant, it ain't going to be by Charlie Kirk. But God forbid Erica Kirk were ever to need an abortion in the future, because Charlie will be looking up from hell, judging you with those ridiculous teeth of his. I can't stand the word empathy. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term, and it does a lot of damage. So Charlie Kirk is saying that caring about other people causes damage. Okay, all right. Let's continue. What else have we got? Oh, no, same one. My bad. Oh, if somebody has to run... This is crazy. All right, somebody has had enough of your antics and has to run you over to get somewhere, they should not face penalties. And this is his comment regarding peaceful protesters. He seems to think that vehicular manslaughter is okay if you're in a hurry and God forbid there are people, fighting for their constitutional rights from the Nazi regime, the American Nazi Party, formerly known as the GOP. Yep, that was a good one. Lastly, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. And let's not forget Charlie Kirk's last fucking words before he got shot by a white man, a white alleged Trump supporter. At this point, we don't even know who the shooter was. I don't believe Tyler Robinson was even the shooter. And I'm going to explain why. I got bad vibes all over this Charlie Kirk shit. You know what? Let's get into it. Fuck it. I also have a video of J.D. Vance and the SS leader, Stephen Miller. Apparently, the vice president has become a podcaster now. He has taken over Charlie Kirk's show, while his wife takes over Charlie Kirk's company. I don't know. Seems like you guys are really just taking all of Charlie's shit a week after he died. You're doing too much. Okay, so this is not a conspiracy, what I'm about to show you. Okay, this has nothing to do with entry and exit wounds. This has nothing to do with where the shooter was. This has to do with the fact that Charlie Kirk's people removed a 4K video camera. I'm assuming it's 4K. I mean, it's a multi-million-dollar company that was directly behind Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to show you the video. There's quite literally no denying what you're going to see. This is physical evidence to a murder. Removing evidence from a crime scene is, well, when it was democracy, it used to be a felony. Now it's just the cost of doing business, apparently. So let me show you this video. But the worst part about this video is they used the chair that Charlie Kirk was shot in to get up to the camera. Now, the camera would have been facing the direction of the shooter. If it was a 4K camera, could have been an 8K camera. Those are out now, too. If it was a 4K camera, it would have caught something. It also would have caught where the bullet went into Charlie Kirk's head, because it did not go in his throat. I had arguments all fucking day with people. He got shot in the... No, the fuck he didn't get shot in the neck. Jesus Christ. Again, how do all you gun nuts not know? I knew right away. That was an exit wound. Plus, if the bullet went in here, a 308 round or a 30-06 round is going to damn near take your head off. If he would have got shot in the fleshy part of his neck, which was right here, the bullet would have cleared his fucking neck and went straight back. There would have been blood splatter on the all-white background directly behind him. There was no blood whatsoever because the shot did not come from the front. Okay? And also, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy, guys? This is somebody that was at Utah. Okay? Who the fuck is that? And why do they look like they're carrying a bag with a rifle strap hanging out of it? I'm just pointing out, I'm just asking questions here. Why do we have a man with a black glove on his trigger finger, his trigger hand, if he's right-handed, carrying a bag that could hold a collapsible AR-15 or a smaller rifle? Because the location I showed you guys yesterday that I feel like Charlie Kirk was shot from was a lot closer than 200 yards or 200 meters or whatever it was. Okay, this is extremely close. After looking at it a little bit more, I actually think it came from this building over here to the right. But it did not come from the front. I can honestly say that with complete confidence. Charlie Kirk did not get shot from the front. And this camera would have proved he did not get shot from the front. But the FBI does not have this footage because Turning Point USA stole it. Watch the video and judge for yourself.
Here, I just heard them say the active shooter Charlie Kirk has been shot. Charlie Kirk got hit. Charlie Kirk got hit. What the security detail just said.
The only people that are going to have high-def coverage of this are the people with that camera. Everybody else is going to be camera phones. So if you're expecting to see Charlie Kirk's murder in 4K, we need to get this footage right here. That footage is the smoking gun evidence that will prove exactly what I'm telling you, that Charlie Kirk got shot in the back of his fucking head, and that Turning Point USA and the FBI are lying to cover it up. Kash Patel's story is so full of fucking holes. You don't even need to be an expert in this shit. You just need to have some common sense. Again, they said the shooter, Tyler Robinson, alleged shooter who was pled not guilty, by the way, I think, or is not cooperating with the cops. They said he went onto the roof, put his rifle together, shot it, and then with, I'm sure, an amazing amount of adrenaline pumping through your veins, disassembled that weapon in seconds, put it into a backpack, ran into the woods, put it back together, and then left DNA evidence all over it. Yeah, come on. Do you guys really, have you seen the fucking text messages they're trying to pass off? This shit looks like it was written by ChatGPT. I don't know how anybody is buying this. Like, all the evidence they're presenting just seems like it's false or manufactured to prevent the truth from getting out. And right now, the truth is that Charlie Kirk's people have video evidence in their possession that the FBI does not have. Has this video been mentioned by the FBI? Hey, we got 4K coverage showing the direction of the shooter. Look at that. We solved the case. But instead, minutes after Charlie Kirk was murdered, one of his people took the chair Charlie Kirk was shot in and used it to remove high-def video quality evidence from the scene of it. That's a felony. That is a felony. Removing evidence from a murder scene is 100% absolutely a felony. It's obstruction of justice. It's a lot of things. But these people will never see a day in court because I have a feeling that there's too many people that are complicit in what happened. And you'll never convince me otherwise. I'm sorry. I've made up my mind at this point. So, but who has the most to benefit from Charlie Kirk's death? Erica Kirk and the Kirk family, Turning Point USA, she is assuming the CEO role in a greater visibility and leadership within the organization, consolidating influence. She has access to sympathy by playing the bereaved wife, fundraising, which she's raised millions of dollars, and legacy connections. So, yeah. Also, political, ideological allies and the conservative movement benefit the most from the death of Charlie Kirk. Because immediately after Charlie Kirk was shot, they are trying to push Turning Point USA into public schools. Erica Kirk's out there saying, you have no idea what you've unleashed. Ooh. Charlie Kirk was murdered by MAGA. Whether it was a Nick Fuentes fanatic or somebody within his own organization, Charlie Kirk was not murdered by anybody on the left or the center. Not even center right. We're talking far, far right people. I showed you the video of Nick Fuentes yesterday. These people are fucking insane. These people are truly disgusting. Like bottom of the intellectual barrel. So I need you guys to ask yourself, if you're a Trump supporter, what benefit could the left possibly gain by murdering Charlie Kirk? We are trying to avoid violence. We're trying to come to peaceful solutions. So murdering one of you, we know you guys are itching for a civil war. We know you guys love to lie and love to spread propaganda. And you sure did take immediate advantage of Charlie Kirk's death. I watched Republican Congresswoman post that the Democrats, the blood is on their hands. I watched Republican members of Congress post war, civil war. What is your bloodlust? What the fuck is your problem? What the fuck is your problem with Americans? Okay? They don't look like you. That's it. That's quite literally it. They don't pray to the same white Jesus as you. Like that. Is that why you hate this country so much? Republicans hate America. They fucking hate us. They hate everything we stand for. They hate everything that we want to be. And they want to turn us into the 1930s and 1940s Nazi Germany. I mean, what more do you... They just came out and said, we're fascists. Anti-fascists are terrorists, which means you're fascist, a.k.a. a Nazi, which is nice that Donald Trump actually just came out and say it, instead of hiding in the Nazi closet. We all saw that freaking salute he did on July 4th. It was just a wave. Yeah, okay, it was a Hitler wave, but it was a wave. Fucking idiots. So in good news, it has been officially reported no evidence has been found to any left-leaning organization. Okay? And just so you guys can rest easy, I have a surprise for you. Oh my God, I forgot to load it. I am so sorry. Did I even download it? Oh my God, I didn't even download it. What is wrong with me? Hold up a second. I got to send this to you guys because this shit's funny. This shit's fun. This may actually solve all of our problems. Hold on one second. Let me just email it to myself. I don't think there's going to be any more political violence, and let me show you why. Let me show you why. Maybe Donald Trump is just the master of the deal. I don't know, but let me. I'll show you. Hold on. All right. I know I'm joking around, but let me be serious for a second. Let me show you. I want you guys to be at ease. So, download image, enhance. Oh, there it is. There's the download button. There it is. It was hiding from me. It was hiding. All right, hold up. Let's do this. All right. So you guys can rest easy because it looks like the CEO of Antifa, George Soros, and Donald Trump have made a deal. Okay, of course, I'm being a smartass because Antifa is not a fucking real organization, and no, George Soros does not fund us. I know my Instagram handle is Soros-funded PSYOP, but you guys literally think George Soros is funding us. That is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so for immediate release, comrades and shareholders, I am pleased to announce that after months of fierce negotiation with the Trump administration, we have finally reached an agreement. Antifa has agreed that it will end all of its American operations, shutter its regional offices across the nation, and liquidate all holdings no more than 3 business days following the completion of the United States government's agreed upon contractual obligations. So the only thing Donald Trump has to do to stop all the violence is release the Epstein files. I love the internet. I love the internet. So, but no, let's get back to being serious. Sorry, let me give you a second to compose myself here. I saw that today and just had to laugh. But no, there are no ties as of now, and there will not be any ties to left-wing radical thugs or whatever the fuck you idiots call us. Okay, we are a peaceful movement. Don't get it twisted. If you come at us, we will defend ourselves, but we're not going to be out there starting this shit. That's you. You guys are the ones that are starting all the violence. Always. It's always you. You don't look around and see that it's quite literally all of you causing all the fights and all the violence. It's even all of you that are being caught as raging pedophiles. And you're not like, maybe we're the problem. At no point does that occur to these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we're dumb as fuck and should shut the fuck up and maybe get off the internet. I'm sorry, but maybe there should be an IQ test to use the internet. Jesus Christ. Honestly, at this point, I don't think it matters, man. I've seen some AI videos lately that are fucking good. So good. Oh, my God. All right, so in serious news, though, we do have a problem. Trump this is according to Brian Krasenstein on Twitter, which is a pretty reliable source. Trump is effectively pulling back from NATO just as Russia begins violating the sovereignty of NATO nations like Poland and Estonia. Just so you guys are aware, Russia has been sending fighter jets into Polish airspace to test to see what NATO and the United States will do in response. The United States is not going to do a fucking thing because Donald Trump is in Russia's pocket. That's not allegedly. Like, we could show you video upon article that shows that Donald Trump has been propped up by Russia since the 1980s. You never heard of Operation Krasnov? Yeah, that's Trump. So what does this mean? Well, see, it's kind of fucked up in a way because, one, Kamala Harris actually called this shit. I will play that video. She did warn us that Trump would not obligate or would not stick to his obligations to the United States' obligations to NATO. She told us right here.
Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting and why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Damn, she did say it. She warned us, y'all. She fucking warned us. And it is the case. Donald Trump is now pulling back from NATO. He's not pulling out of NATO, but NATO has invoked Article 4. Article 5 is war. Article 5 has only been invoked once in NATO history, and it was after 9/11 when every country from NATO joined us to help us fight this ridiculous freaking forever war. When Article 5 gets invoked, that means without question everybody goes, including the United States. So if they invoke Article 5, you're going to see Donald Trump's true colors. Because if he does not stand up to our agreement with NATO, that means he is 100% a Russian and Israeli puppet. And he has abandoned the United States of America. We have a incompetent, dangerous, orange, fat, incontinent Nazi in the White House. who thinks that he could just shit all over the Constitution. You know he's going after the First Amendment, right? We all know that. Jimmy Kimmel, he's now saying that if they don't report, like if news agencies don't report what he likes, he will pull their broadcast license. You ever heard of the freedom of the press, freedom of expression, freedom of religion? So he's already taken away the First Amendment. So how long do you think MAGA it'll be before he comes after the Second and the Third and the Fourth and the rest of them? He is shitting on the Constitution. Oh, sorry guys, sorry, I forgot to mute that. Thank you so much for that. I forgot to mute my other screen. Yeah. So where the fuck was I at? I forget. But anyway, Donald Trump will show his true colors. He will not honor NATO, the agreement with the NATO. I almost guarantee it, because if he does, a lot of bad things are going to come out about Donald Trump. We've all heard the rumors that Epstein worked with Israel. We know for a fact that Ghislaine Maxwell's father had ties to Mossad and Israel. That's actually verifiable. Epstein, still rumors, which most people at this point believe he was. So chances are Israel has videos of a lot of people doing gross things to girls, to kids. It's kind of Israel's thing, it seems like, the pedo protectors. Is that what Israel does? Like, you just go around fucking kids? So anyway, but the KGB agent who has come out and said that Putin has SA video of Donald Trump and a minor. This is why Donald Trump is owned by foreign assets, enemies of ours. Enemies of ours. They saw a weak loser who will do anything for money, and they manipulated him. All you got to do with Donald Trump to make him like you is tell him how awesome he is and throw him some money or give him something that's gold, something shiny. We don't run our government. Our government is not run by our government. And I'm talking both sides, okay? Our government is cooked. Our government is cooked. Even if we have an election coming up, which I still highly doubt that's even going to happen. Why? I don't know, because Donald Trump's, they're Nazis. Why would they want to have an election to give up power? Because obviously they're losing their ass in every election since Donald Trump took power. Why would they want to have an election to possibly give up all of this? All of this. The Heritage Foundation has been working since the 1980s. They have spent billions upon billions of dollars to get into the White House. Do you think the Heritage Foundation is going to let Democrats take back over? If you do, you are fucking naive. I'm sorry to say it. You're naive. Everybody keeps talking about the next election. I don't even think our last election was free and fair. After looking at all the Election Truth Alliance's smart election data, I don't think we had a free election last time, a fair election last time. So why would we have one this time? To think that this election is going to be free and fair when the last one was not is insane. Because not only has nothing changed since the last election, now we don't even know who's handling the voting machines. We don't know who's handling these voting machines in between elections at this point. And that's a concern. That's a security concern. Okay? So I don't... This form of democracy is over. I'm not saying we can't rebuild it as something better, but honestly, at this point, I think we just got to burn this whole fucking system to the ground. Metaphorically, before anybody gets on my case about, oh, you're just talking about violence. No. Dude, AIPAC runs our fucking government, man. How does nobody see that? Democrats and Republicans. We could pull up AIPAC tracker and spend all day looking. Kamala Harris, 9 million. Donald Trump, unverifiable, but over 200 million. Mike Johnson, Eric Swalwell. The list goes on and on. Israel runs our government. We just sent Israel another $6 billion in weapons. I remember reading an article a few months ago that says we're running short on weapons. And now we're sending more to a country that does nothing but pull us into fights. Do you guys know who gave us the intelligence about Iraq? Weapons of mass destruction. Does anybody remember who gave us the intelligence for WMDs? The whole reason we went to Iraq? It was Israel. Israel gave us that information. Not only did they get us into a war, they did not send one Israeli soldier to help us. I'm just pointing out, some obvious flaws in our support for Israel, our blind support for this country that does nothing but start shit with other countries and then drags our asses into it to clean up the mess. Doesn't this bother anybody anymore? That our government is not in control of itself. They're not governing for the American people. They're governing for the benefit of the Israeli people. I'm done, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to crash out. I love you guys. Honestly, last night I think it was a glitch. I don't think there's any way we had 50,000 people in here. That shit was crazy. But yeah, I still don't think we had 50. I think that was just a glitch or somebody view-botted me to try and get me banned or something like that. Because that's the thing, too, for streamers. I don't know if you know this, but streamers who hate other streamers will view-bot your account. Basically, they'll buy fake viewers and just put them all on your account. So it looks like you have a lot more, and YouTube and Twitch are starting to crack down on view-botting. So, yeah, am I out? No, I'm not. What do you mean, am I out of what? That was weird. What happened? Where'd I go? Am I back? They have infiltrated globally. Kendra is absolutely right. It's a problem. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and act like I care about everybody. I care about, you know what I mean? It's so hard for me to sit here and talk shit about. I feel like an asshole sometimes. I want to care about everybody, but these people are horrible. I'm not talking about the Zionists in Israel. I'm talking about MAGA too. I'm tired of dealing with you. You are the most miserable cunts on this fucking planet. Cucks too, but cunts mostly. You're horrible to deal with. You're miserable people, and you're not going to heaven. I don't know why. Why did MAGA think they could just, literally take food away from people? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm done with the whole shit. Yeah, I'm just done live streaming? Fuck no. Hell no, I love live streaming. I love doing this for you guys. Plus, it gives me an outlet to vent after a long day of consuming social media. Oh, tomorrow, by the way, we're not going to be having a show. Donald Trump. Fuck. Donald Trump's in my head. Mike is at Ren Fair in Pennsylvania, so he's having a blast and will not be back in time for tomorrow's show. So we're going to take a day off. I need a digital detox, so I'm probably going to play. All right, I'm going to play video games, so I don't necessarily need a digital detox, but I definitely need a social media detox for a day because this shit is getting in my head, dude. I've analyzed so many videos from so many different angles, and when I tell people, they're like, well, it wasn't very clear. What the fuck are you expecting? You expecting all of a sudden a full resolution 4K video to come out, a bullet flying through Charlie Kirk's neck? You're waiting for that to make an assumption? After everything I've showed y'all, I still get shit. Charlie Kirk's people were moving cameras from the scene of the crime. Charlie Kirk, bullet flying into the back of his head. Exit wound in the front, not an entry wound. Okay? The gun Tyler Robinson was using can't be taken apart so simply and put into a backpack. It would take minutes. With an S. And even if Tyler Robinson were able to get that gun apart in seconds and put it into his backpack, the pieces would literally be sticking out of the top of the backpack. And then we got the leader of the FBI, crackhead Kash Patel, telling us that he then reassembled it in the woods just so they could just find it with DNA evidence. How convenient. And if you don't think Kash Patel would lie on behalf of Donald Trump, I have a video you may want to watch. This is him lying to Congress about the Epstein files.
There's no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case file.
Okay.
You replied, according to the transcript, there is no credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else. According to victims who cooperated with the FBI in that investigation, these documents in FBI possession, your possession, detail at least 20 men, including Mr. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays Bank, who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked victims to. That list also includes at least 19 other individuals, one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, one royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada.
A magician? It's kind of weird. Pulling little girls out of a hat. Fuck, that's fucked up. What the fucking magician? A magician? All right, but there you go. Kash Patel lying to Congress. So if you do not think he would lie on behalf of Donald Trump, you are fooling yourself. How do I know? He is a believer. He is a true believer in Donald Trump, would do anything for him. How do I know? Well, Kash Patel has written several children's books about Donald Trump, where Kash Patel is he's a wizard. He's a wizard in these books. One is called The Plot Against the King. Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's a children's book. That is a fucking kid's book. A key player in uncovering one of our nation's biggest injustices tells the whole story for kids. Kash Patel partners with Beacon of Freedom Publishing House, of course, to bring a fantastical retelling of Hillary's horrible plot against Donald Trump and the whole to the whole family. Full of fake heralds and keeper commies spying slugs, this is a story of daring and danger, but never fear. Kash, the distinguished discoverer, will win the day. Just so you guys are aware, Kash Patel is this handsome-looking little wizard dude. Whoop, there you go. There he is. That's Kash. Yeah, he's the hero in his own children's book about Donald Trump and the evil Hillary Clinton. But there's 3 of these. Okay, not just one. There's 3. This one was called The Plot Against the King 2000 Mules, this is a severely debunked conspiracy theory. But he wrote a kid's book about it. The Plot Against the King 2000 Mules is a 2022 children's book by Kash Patel that tells a fantastical story about the 2020 election, portraying it as a terrible scheme to elect Sleepy Joe over King Donald. Let me repeat that. King Donald. Yes, Donald Trump is a fucking king in Kash Patel's fucking crackhead mind. The book follows 2 characters, Dinesh and Debbie, who, with the help of Wizard Kash, uncover evidence of a plot to steal the election, using the term mules to describe those involved in ballot stuffing. The book is published by Brave Books and includes a special message from Dinesh D'Souza. Coming to theaters this fall. feel like I'm having a brain bleed. But this is the guy running the FBI. A podcaster, raging cokehead. I'll stand on that one for sure. That motherfucker's on some kind of stimulants. Whether it's crack, meth, or coke, this dude is hopped up. Your eyes, that's called meth face. That's what we used to call it anyway, meth face. When your eyes are so big, they are quite literally about to pop out of your face because you can't close them. Yeah, that's who's leading the FBI. A conspiracy theorist, podcaster, nut job who wrote books, children's books about King Trump, where he is a wizard. When I say it out loud like that, does it not sound like this guy should be in a padded room in a straitjacket as opposed to running the feds? Maybe I'm just overreacting. Maybe he's, what am I saying? The guy sucks at his job. Come on, man. The guy's horrible at his job. He's terrible. This is a joke. And then the assistant director of the FBI is also a fucking podcaster. That's like if you gave me, and said, we're going to give you authority over the most powerful governmental agency that is allowed to regulate or run within the United States, because CIA is not supposed to run ops in the United States. But, yeah, that's like giving me the head of the FBI position. I am just as qualified, if not more, because I'm not a Trump sycophant. I could probably solve more. I know I could solve more crimes than Kash Patel. Get the fuck out of here. The guy's he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's not. He has no experience in law enforcement, investigative work, detectives. Usually when you appoint somebody to the head of the FBI, it's somebody that has had a career in law enforcement and special investigations. No, but we have two podcasters running the FBI. And then we have a Fox News host who's now making threats out of his makeup room next to his office in the Pentagon, Pete Kegsbrith, who is now making threats saying that all television channels, all news stations have to sign a pledge, or they can't report on Donald Trump. If they report negatively on Donald Trump will pull their broadcast license. They're dumber than a box of rocks, but I think the rocks will be smarter. Yo, let's not be mean to the rocks, okay, Brina? That's a disservice to rocks. What is dumber than rocks? Single cell organisms? No. We got to find something that is dumber than Kash Patel. It's hard. It's hard. I know. Anyway, so but unfortunately, even though it has come out now that no left-wing groups had anything to do with Project 2020. I'm so lost with the murder of Charlie Kirk. None. Not one. Not one. They cannot say it right now. They cannot name one single left-wing radical organization, because there is no left-wing radical organization. We're a peaceful group who are trying to prevent civil war, while you guys have this bloodlust for civil war. We are not the violent ones. We've never been the violent ones, as much as you wish we were. It's time for y'all to look in the mirror. Because, again, it's not George Soros funding this. I mean, they're quite, here, look, I'll play this video. Donald Trump quite literally says he thinks George Soros is funding Antifa. And then we'll talk about it.
That's the other thing, dude. They have signs and they're all professionally made. Real protesters make them in their basement. And they're all the same. He was behind it. Do you have a gut feelings? You know, you hear Soros. I don't know. We're going to find out if he's behind it. But it's incitement to riot. That's a criminal act. And people are dying because of it. So it's really, you know, it's death. So we're gonna find out. And it should have been done a long time ago.
Sorry, I couldn't take his voice today. I had to change it. Yeah, so George Soros is funding Antifa, which again, Antifa is not an organization. It's not real. Y'all made it up. MAGA made up Antifa. Antifa means anti-fascist. Again, a proud American tradition since 1943. To be fascist is quite literally the most un-American, anti-patriotic thing you could possibly do in this country. To be a Nazi. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Your grandparents are literally rolling in their graves right now. They fought the Nazis for you to become one. Yeah, you're really living up to the family legacy, Republicans. So anyway, again, he's blaming George Soros, other people. You know, it's funny, the right-wingers are really taking off with this because they're seeing inconsistencies too. And obviously they're conspiracy theory people. So that's how they see the world. Like they're going off of gut feelings and they're blaming Israel and all this stuff. And do I think Israel is capable of doing something like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Israel is 100% capable of pulling a false flag operation in America to start civil unrest or a civil war. I 100% believe Netanyahu would do something like that. But I'm not going to go that route. Do I think they're capable? Yes. But the reason, I dug this clip up on Twitter, the reason the right thinks Israel did it is because of this clip right here. Because Charlie Kirk was very much pulling away from Israel at the end there before he died. He was very much starting to speak out against Israel. He was starting to say that he did not believe October 7th was a Hamas attack. Charlie Kirk believed October 7th was a false flag operation. He was starting to talk about it, and they shut him up. Who shut him up? I don't know. I can't tell you who did it. I know Turning Point USA was involved. You're removing evidence from the scene of the crime. You are involved. But the reason MAGA, two things have happened. MAGA has finally realized that what we saw is the exit wound. These gun nuts are finally looking at the video footage going, that's not where the bullet went in. They're even going out to their ranges and recreating the shooting with a 30-06 rifle. Go on YouTube or social media. There's a few people I've seen do it. That 30-06 round shot into a neck of a ballistic dummy quite literally takes its head off. So, one, I don't think it was a 30-06 because, again, that would have quite literally taken half of his fucking neck off. There would have been blood behind him. And again, I know he was shot in the back of the head. I don't think he was shot in the back of the head. I've proved that he was shot in the back of the head. I even have in my possession, and I can't post it because of the blood. I have the video of the entrance wound. I found it today. It exists. And it's exactly where I said it was. And it's a small little hole with very little blood coming out of it before Charlie Kirk falls out of the frame. That's what an entrance wound looks like. Again, what we saw was the round enter from the back of his head, which would have been captured by the high-definition camera behind Charlie Kirk, the same camera that Charlie Kirk's people took away from the scene of the crime. That would prove that the bullet entered the back of his head, and I think that's why they took it. The bullet entered right below his right ear, about an inch back, inch down, and it came out at an angle through the front of his neck. That's what happened. I'm not even saying it's a conspiracy. I have enough video evidence that I'm not waiting for the court of law. The court of law sucks in this country. Okay, we are the court of public opinion. Okay? We have to make our own assessments now. Corporate media is compromised. Do you think you're ever going to get this story out of corporate media if they have to sign a pledge to not say anything negative about the Trump administration, to include that Charlie Kirk was shot from behind and not in front? Okay, I can't prove who did it, obviously, but I can prove that he was not shot from the front. He was not shot from the front. He was not shot in the neck. He was shot in the back of the head, and the bullet came out of his neck. period. I don't give a fuck what anybody else says. They can call me crazy. I've been called crazy today. They think I'm being extreme. But you know what? They said the same thing 2.5 years ago when I started talking about Project 2025. They said the same thing a year and a half ago when I started saying Donald Trump is a fucking Nazi. Oh, you're overreacting. Am I now? Not only is Project 2025 Donald Trump's agenda and writing all his policies, the Heritage Foundation, Donald Trump has come out and said he's a fascist. If I am right about this, which I'm pretty sure I am, this is a massive conspiracy. It's a massive cover-up. It's treason and domestic terrorism. But the question is, who did it? Do I think Israel did it? No. Do I think Israel could have suggested that we do it? Yes. Do I think? Yes. I think Israel could have said to somebody in this administration, hey, why don't you just sacrifice one of your own, blame it on the other side, do a little false flag operation and gain some public support, get those donations running in, and then while nobody's looking, you could block the Epstein files and then simultaneously put Christian nationalist Nazi garbage into public schools. Nobody finds this fucking weird to me, man. Everybody I talk to today is like, you're nuts. This is a conspiracy theory. You should not be going down this road. Really? You're going to just accept what the fucking Fed is telling you? Kash Patel. You're going to believe Kash Patel and Donald Trump. Donald Trump lies multiple times on a daily. Almost everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. And you want me to sit here and accept what the Trump administration is saying? Get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit. Okay, and if you're sitting around, guys, waiting for 4K coverage of Charlie Kirk's murder to be broadcast on the 10 o'clock news, whatever time the news is, I don't watch corporate news. It's never going to happen, okay? We are the news. Now, you, me, people with social media, we have to get the truth out. Even if nobody listens, we at least have to get the truth out into the universe. That is our job now. We cannot rely on corporate media. We cannot rely on our politicians. We are all alone. And we have a bloodlust cult after us every second of every day. They want nothing more than to be given a reason to walk down their streets with their AR-15s and just shoot at people that they think are liberals. These people are sick in the fucking head. But anyway, going back to the Charlie Kirk video, this is the video that the right wing, like Candace Owens, she's going with gut feelings. I'm going with video evidence. Okay, I'm making my decision and my statements based on my own vision, my own eyes. Okay, I'm not, well, I think Israel did it because, no. I watched hundreds of videos of this. As many as I could possibly consume. I've seen Charlie Kirk's neck get blown out probably more than anybody else. Trying to figure this out. Am I obsessed with it? Yes. I have an obsessive compulsive problem. I also have severe ADHD and my brain never shuts off. So I sit there and I analyze until I feel like I've come to a certain conclusion. Okay? You guys have never known me to spread lies and conspiracy theories on this show. Okay? Yesterday's show I did not want to do, but I did it anyway because I felt it was important because I knew I was going to be called a crazy person for doing it. And honestly, I don't care anymore. I don't care. I don't care. If you're not going to accept the fact that we have an administration that would kill, I feel would kill us or one of their own to get their way. I truly feel that they are that sick and twisted. And let's not forget the last time the Nazis were in power, the last time fascists were in power, tens of millions of people died. Okay, it took 9 years from the time Hitler took power to the time he started gassing people in gas chambers. Are we going to sit here while we're watching history repeat itself? Quite literally history repeat itself? Are we going to wait 9 years and then when 10 million black people and Latinos get gassed in a gas chamber, we're going to go, oh, shit. Oh, shit. We should have did something. Or are we going to do something now? The only power we have is working together and sharing these videos that we find. That is quite literally the only power we have. We don't have the power of the vote anymore. We don't have the power of our congressional delegates anymore because they've abandoned us for Israel. It is up to us, man. It is up to us, guys. The goobers from the U.S. and U.K. let this happen. Yeah, U.K.'s doing. They're kind of just following suit, almost like they couldn't wait to get back to the old days, isn't it? But anyway, I keep talking. Let me show you this Charlie Kirk video. This is why I don't think Israel did it, but this is why the right thinks Israel did it.
So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress. When I first heard this story, I still had the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that is an IDF soldier, right? The whole country is surveilled. And so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone, Patrick. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to lead. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here. But I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand-down order? Was there a stand-down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it.
What he's talking about is there was allegedly the people at the border of Gaza and Israel, the soldiers were ordered to stand down during the attack, or before the attack, which was a really apparently weird order. There are some IDF soldiers that are actually speaking out about it because it has bothered them a lot. So Charlie Kirk started talking about the fact that October 7th might have been a false flag operation. He started rejecting money from Israel. Netanyahu apparently recently invited him to Israel and he declined. So I see why the right is pointing fingers. I see it. I do. I get it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of hands in this corrupt pot, most of which are not even from this country. We have so many foreign influences in our government. We have been incapacitated. We have been incapacitated from within. Both Russia and Israel played the long game, infected the United States with their ideology, with their money, and with their lobbyists to corrupt us from within. And it's worked. It has worked. Okay, we are in 100% now. May as well just call us the next Israeli state. That's what we are. We are owned and operated by Benjamin Netanyahu and the Zionists of Israel. That I am certain of. But yeah, so did you guys see the video? I didn't realize I've been on almost an hour already. Let me show you because this is kind of funny. Did you guys see the video of Donald Trump's reaction to being asked about the death of Charlie Kirk? He quite literally says, "I'm doing okay, but hey, look at my fancy new ballroom." I'm sorry, but he doesn't sound like he's very torn up to me.
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty. It'll be an absolutely magnificent structure. And I just see all the trucks. We just started, so it'll get done very nicely, and it'll be one of the best anywhere in the world.
I forgot this is the I forgot this is the clip that got Jimmy Kimmel canceled. And that's all he said. He said Donald Trump was so broke up about it. Here's the video. And I just played the video. But I mean, like, why would you get fired? That's what you know what's crazy? I still don't get it. Fox News can suggest murdering homeless people. And then Laura Ingraham, I think it was, when a Democratic nominee, I think this was in Illinois, got thrown on her ass, got picked up by an ICE agent and thrown onto the ground hard, body slammed the woman, and Laura Ingram's response was, good job. But people are being fired for playing Donald Trump's response to a question about a supposed dear friend who was murdered. And he was so broken up and so in tears about it, he wanted to show everybody his new ballroom. And by the way, guys, they did not cancel these liberal hosts. They unleashed them. Okay? Now Jimmy Kimmel, these other guys, once they get rid of their corporate overlords and start their own thing, they will have no restrictions and can say whatever they want. They did not cancel these people. They quite literally just unleashed comedic hell. Do you think these guys are going to stop doing what they're doing just because? I mean, Jimmy Kimmel already sued for like $1 billion. Disney's stock has fallen like 7% since. And they're in panic mode. But this is what you get. This is what you get for capitulating to Donald Trump, who is obviously, like, read the fucking room. Read the goddamn room. 70% of America hates Donald Trump. We outnumber him. Doesn't anybody get that? Just because they have guns, you can only shoot one fucking gun at a time. I don't care how many guns you got. We outnumber them like 3-1. What are we afraid of? What are we afraid of? They're taking everything from us. Are we going to sit by and let them do it? We're going to suffer regardless whether we sit here or whether we hit the streets and go fight. The question is, are you going to suffer on your own terms or are you going to suffer on Donald Trump's terms? Because he's going to make us all suffer. The only people that will not suffer are the people that are tongues are firmly lodged in his orange asshole. That's about it. All right, so let's move on because I want to talk about one last thing, and that is the fact, because it seems to be like, because James asked me today, he goes, "Why? Who benefits the most?" And it got me looking into it, and it quite literally is all Republicans. Who benefits the most from Charlie Kirk's death? Again, conservatives. Conservatives. They can push their narrative. They can blame us. They can get public support. They can raise millions of dollars. What does the left get? Attacked, targeted, doxxed, fired from their jobs. For what? Saying Charlie Kirk was a racist fucking piece of human waste? He was. He was. And honestly, keep celebrating it, because every time I see one of your posts, I know exactly what kind of person you are. It prevents me from having to guess. I would rather know you are a racist, knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing, inbred, MAGA piece of fucking shit right out of the gate than have to try and figure it out, which usually you guys are pretty obvious because somewhere in your profile, MAGA, Trump. Like, y'all are weird and need serious mental help. Like, I don't know. But anyway, they keep piecing apart Charlie Kirk's legacy. His wife took over Turning Point USA, and the vice president of the United States has taken over his podcast. Yes, the official duties of the vice president of the United States now includes being a podcast host. That would be like J.D. Vance sitting in this chair, covering for me. That sounds ridiculous, right? Yeah. The vice president of the United States comes to my house, and while I'm gone, he sits in my chair, and he's the one talking to you right now. How fucking dumb does that sound? This is why we're the laughing stock of the world, because of shit like this. These guys are... Let me just... We'll go ahead and go through the clip real quick. This is real. This is Stephen Miller, the SS commander, and the vice president of the United States talking on Charlie Kirk's podcast that they just took. Like, okay.
To the Charlie Kirk Show. This is Vice President.
Let me
now is Stephen Miller, White House Deputy Chief of Staff, dear friend of mine. and dear friend of Charlie Kirk's. And before I get into the nitty-gritty of what I wanted to talk with Stephen about, you know, there's a lot of questions about the investigation, where we are in the investigation. I want to be respectful to the
By the way, that's not my audio. Their audio sucks.
the FBI's process, but just know that we are on top of this.
So Pamela said plankton. He does look like, if he had one eye and a couple of antennas, he would look like exactly like plankton.
And the entire administration is trying to do as much as possible to find everything that we can about what led to this, about how we got here, and of course, ultimately, how an assassin took Charlie's life.
I think you know. Oh, JD Vance, I think you know exactly what happened. And you're at this is what I say by doing too much. Okay, listen, just keep listening.
To zoom out with Stephen a little bit and talk about all of the ways that we're trying to figure out how to prevent this festering violence that you see on the far left from becoming even more and more mainstream.
Okay, you just heard the Vice President of the United States falsely accused the left of violence with no evidence. No evidence. The Vice President of the United States is talking to Timu Goebbels over here and blaming us. See, this is why I'm done. This is why I'm done being like, oh, maybe we should. No, fuck that. Maybe we should say what we want to say from now on. They are. If you want to say I'm the one that's the threat, then I'm going to say you're the one that set Charlie Kirk up. How about that? How about that? If you can lie on me, I can fucking do the same thing to you. Now, our show is based on facts, but if this is the way they want to go, fuck it. Fuck it. If you're going to blame peaceful people for the violence that you created, then fuck it. I'm going to blame you for Charlie Kirk's death. How about that? JD Vance killed Charlie Kirk, guys. How about that? If we're lying and just making up random shit, well, why not then? You know what I mean? Fuck.
And before I do that, Stephen, I want to do this with every guest because you're a friend of Charlie's, and one of the things I'm hoping that people get out of this is an understanding for the kind of guy that Charlie was, who he was. And so before I talk to you about what we're doing to try to prevent something like this from happening again.
Brita said, Elon stole your wife, you little mole rat. She left the guy who looks like a walking penis for a guy with a broken penis. That's hilarious.
Charlie Kirk's. And before I get into the nitty-gritty of what I wanted to talk with Stephen about, you know, there's a lot of questions about the investigation, where we are in the investigation. I want to be respectful to the FBI's process, but just know that we are on top of this, and the entire administration is trying to do as much as possible to find everything that we can about what led to this, about how we got here, and of course, ultimately, how an assassin took Charlie's life. I wanted to zoom out with Stephen a little bit and talk about all of.
Oh, you want to zoom out, do you? Oh, let's zoom out. Fuck it. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out on this guy again. Who is this guy again? I want to know. Since we're asking questions, right? I mean, I'm allowed to ask questions, so I want to know who the fuck this guy is. And why does he have a bag with a rifle strap hanging out of it? JD Vance. I mean, I can't prove it, but he looks like your typical Fed, doesn't he? Dark suit, dumbass aviator glasses. Like, this is like stereotypical Fed shit with a one black glove on. Who is that, JD Vance? Since we're being so transparent, JD Vance, can we get the video footage from behind Charlie Kirk that Turning Point USA stole? Vice President JD Vance, podcaster, whatever the fuck your title is. How about that? Since we're looking for the truth, why don't we get the 4K footage of Charlie Kirk getting his neck blown out that'll prove he was shot in the back of the head? Where's the footage? The FBI has not even said that they have that footage, by the way. The FBI has not, let me repeat that. The FBI has not disclosed the fact that there was a high-definition camera right behind Charlie fucking Kirk. They have ring bell cameras, and they have cell phone footage. But for some reason, they don't have the footage that Turning Point USA had set up. How do you not have that? Okay, again, this is not a conspiracy theory. I just showed you guys a video of a Turning Point USA member removing a camera from right behind Charlie Kirk's head. So I want to know, since we're asking questions, who's that guy? Again, just being curious, but it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. Just saying.
That we're trying to figure out how to prevent this festering violence that you see on the far left from becoming even more and more mainstream. And before I do that, Stephen, I want to do this with every guest because you're a friend of Charlie.
Oh, yeah, Kendra, we got that. I got that. You believe me, I got that footage. Oh, yeah. I got that in pretty high-quality video, too, of them taking that camera down. And you're right. It was before the cops got there.
You have of them.
Most of the guy, it's a felony. That's you can't take evidence from a murder scene and then not disclose to the FBI that you have it. That's obstruction of justice. Is very, very much illegal.
He made you believe more in yourself, is the best way I could put that.
That's right.
He was your biggest cheerleader. He would, if I was working on a hard project, an important executive order, a major new initiative, he would give me the strength and the focus to get it done.
Wait, what? Hold up. Did Stephen Miller just admit to working on executive orders? With Charlie Kirk's help? Why the fuck is Charlie Kirk helping with executive orders? And again, that's just proof that Donald Trump doesn't write these executive orders. He gets handed them, doesn't know what's in them, and then has somebody else explain what's in them and goes, oh, yeah, that's a good one. And then he signs it.
That's right. He was everybody's supporter, enthusiast, cheerleader, promoter. He made all of us better every single day.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The memory that I keep turning to is not a single memory. It's a period of a couple months after we won the election. And Charlie was in the campaign or the transition office every single day. And from dawn till dusk.
This sounds made up.
Volunteering his time to get into the weeds, the nitty-gritty of government. And he was so damn excited.
This is made up.
I mean, it really hurts to think about it right now. He was so excited about it.
It really hurts. Doing too much, dude. Doing way too much.
All of us being here.
Yeah, okay. That was a fake story that Stephen Miller just told. That was fake. He was lying. I can tell he's lying. Again, I like to read body language and facial expressions, and I can read Stephen Miller like a book. Please, just please, okay? We need that camera footage. How do we get that? I think we should do... I was thinking about this today. If anything is in possession of the government, we can do a Freedom of Information Act request, can't we? So we should be able to request that camera footage because we see in the video that it exists. I mean, I'll pull it up again. We see it's real. It is very, very real. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe I can't find it. Where the fuck? I can't remember what I named it. Oh, yeah, hold on. Oh, there we go. Now I do. Now I remember. Let me pull it up to the side so I can talk while I play this video. Doesn't need to be any audio. But, yeah, this is the video I believe you were referencing where they are taking a camera down from behind Charlie Kirk. This camera angle is crucial because not only is it facing the direction they claim the shooter was, which was straight ahead, it also would have caught the round entering the back of Charlie Kirk's head. We will never see this footage if it isn't already destroyed. But I don't see how we should... I mean, look at this guy. He's sitting here looking around. Look at him. That is not the actions of somebody who's just doing normal daily activities or doing his job. He's removing evidence from a camera from a murder scene. Period. End of fucking story. If you saw anything else in that video, you are blind. So yes, we have questions. Where's that camera footage? I also want to know where the camera footage is from the guy in the white hat that was on the right of Charlie Kirk, because he had his camera out the whole time. As a matter of fact, that guy had his camera out all the way until they put Charlie Kirk in the fucking SUV. And a reminder, they did not put him back in an ambulance because they didn't even have an ambulance there. 2,000, 3,000 kids in a small space like that, and they had no paramedics, no emergency medical staff. It seems kind of odd. It almost seems like standard. When you're having a rally where there's going to be massive amounts of people, you need professional medical staff on site in case there is an emergency. But there was no ambulance on site. They carried his body, threw him in the back of an SUV. There's no medical report. There's no autopsy. And all the evidence is now buried in the ground or in somebody's back pocket in the form of a memory card from that camera. So all we have is speculation, guys. So we have to form our own opinion on this. If you think he was set up, you are justified in your feelings. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but when I watch dozens, if not, I've probably watched not thousands of videos, but I've probably watched these videos over 1,000 times. And when you watch different angles and you start to add the stuff together, you are able to make a reasonable assumption about what happened without gut feelings. And watching somebody remove evidence from the murder scene, to me, that's a big red flag that something is afoot. Something stinks. That's why I feel like Charlie Kirk was murdered by his own people, to push their Nazi agenda, to push Turning Point USA bullshit into schools. I mean, how do you indoctrinate an entire democracy into Nazism? You have to target future generations. Charlie Kirk wasn't even buried yet before they announced that they were going to put his shit into public schools. It almost seemed like they were ready to make that announcement. You know what I mean? They want to build statues of this guy. They want to give him a national holiday. Again, y'all are doing too much. The more you do, the guiltier you look. I'm just never going to get over this. Again, people have called me crazy. I don't give a fuck. Call me crazy if you want. If you don't want to believe your own eyes, or if you don't want to believe actual video footage that I show you, then don't. I don't care. If it's not clear enough for you, that's your problem, not mine. Okay? If you want to assume that the feds are telling you the truth, go for it. I guarantee it's not a good decision. I guarantee you need to speculate. I guarantee you need to be suspicious. And I also guarantee you need to accept the fact that we are living in the most extreme of times. The world has not seen this extreme of time since the 1940s, when Hitler was in power. Okay, so we are back to that. So if you think I'm going to sit here and just play by the rules and not go for the throat of these people, metaphorically, again, so nobody, you shouldn't say any violence. No, I'm going after y'all. If I think y'all are covering something up, I'm going to point it out. If I think y'all had something to do with something, I'm going to point it out. Again, I'll show you the evidence that I have. I didn't come on here for an hour and a half yesterday and just talk shit. I literally showed you video evidence. I showed you what a bullet entry and exit wound does. I showed you, like, it's like doing all this research and all this work just to show it to somebody and they go, you're crazy. That could never happen. You don't think that could ever happen? You don't think that Nazis would murder one of their own to push their Nazi agenda? You're fucking naive. You're fucking naive. And I'm disappointed in a lot of people. I really am. Because you obviously do not understand how extreme this is. They are labeling liberals and trans people terrorists. What do you do with terrorists? You kill them. You hunt them down. You don't make friends with terrorists. So if they're going to label me a terrorist, I'm going to fucking terrorize. But I'm going to do it my way, with video evidence, out in the streets, protesting, making sure you guys are informed on all the current shit that's going on in the government. Whether it sounds crazy or not. I don't care if I sound crazy. I don't care. That's the problem that everybody doesn't get. I don't give a fuck if I sound crazy. Because if I'm even 10% right on any of this shit, we are in fucking trouble. If I'm 100% right, that means Charlie Kirk was murdered by his own people. So I think somebody, y'all, need to just really think about this, because we're not dealing with Republicans. We're not dealing with conservatives. We're not dealing with Christians. We're dealing with religious, extremist Nazis. Did the Nazis play nice the last time? Or did they just murder everybody that wasn't white? Because I'm pretty sure that's what fucking happened last time, and I'll be goddamned if I'm going to sit by and let it happen again without saying some shit. It's the only power I have, is my voice and my mind and my ability to analyze things. It's the only power I have, and I'm going to use every bit of it with the small platform that I have to make sure you guys are as informed as possible as to what's going on. Something fucking stinks. The FBI is obviously lying, not only about the shooting of Charlie Kirk, but the Epstein files. They're lying. You know they're fucking lying. How do you look at them knowing they're lying to your face and then come to me and say I'm crazy? Get your shit together. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I love you guys. Love you guys very much. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Like I said, I'm taking tomorrow off. Mike is out of town. I'll be back on Monday with James for the Derp State. And then Tuesday, I am going to be doing an on-location live in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. There is something going on with the Dominion voting machines, and there's going to be a protest out there. Brandy from TikTok, who we've had on the show with Electric Truth Alliance before, is going to be there. So I'm going to meet Brandy for the first time in real life, which is going to be pretty cool. So that'll be, as long as they let me stream it, I'm assuming they will. If not, I'll get some good footage. It'll be like 1 o'clock. I'll probably hop on earlier than that. But so I have a couple tomorrow off, and then a couple good, really good shows, and then we're back on schedule until the 18th of next month, when I will be going to New York City to meet up with Mike, where both of us will be attending the next new. I can't talk. I got a burp stuck in there. Sorry. Try not to let it out. The next No Kings protest. Okay, we're good. We're good. Sorry. Yeah, so that should be cool. Last time there was tens of millions of people in the street, so I'm hoping we have the same reaction, if not more, because we need everybody in the streets. Like, I was told today, like, all this stuff I'm saying is not going to change minds. And my response was, if we're not trying to change minds, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what the fuck are we doing? If you're not going to change someone's mind, what the fuck are you in the streets? Why are you protesting? Why? Explain to me why. I'm not talking about changing MAGA minds, because their minds are mush. I'm talking about all the people that have no idea what's about to happen. Don't you care about people that aren't into politics, that don't know what the fuck is going on? Don't you think they have a right to know? Should we change their minds? Again, if we're not changing minds, what the fuck is the point of all this? What are we doing out here? What are we doing? Like, seriously, why am I spending a week away from my family if we're not changing minds? Fuck. This shit fucking pisses me off, man. Like, I'm the crazy one while the feds are out here lying about the Epstein files and what really happened to Charlie Kirk. But I'm the crazy one. Fuck off. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Love you all. Have a good night, and I will talk to you on Monday.